can have a dream. Let's make it real. No better time than now. Best life ever. We can have a dream. Best life ever. Let's make it real. Best life ever. No better time than now. Best life ever. Make this your best life ever. Make this your best life ever. Make this your best life.
Hi, welcome to the Aladdin Show. Thank you for joining me. Another week of exciting things going to happen in the show today. We're going to talk about yoga, not just talk about the yoga, do some practices, actually show you some practices, how you could do those things at home. And if you've got joint pains, if you're stiff, then this is really going to help. And if you want to be more flexible, if you want to lose weight, you want to just feel better physically, emotionally, mentally, yoga is just for you. So I've got a lovely lady called Alison. She will be showing some practices and I will be trying it. Yes, I am a beginner myself, so I'm not a professional. You will see me, you possibly laughing when I'm doing my yoga practices. That's okay. Laughing is good for your soul. So please remember, keep watching. Also remember to watch to the end, because I'm actually going to tell you more about those products, Mystify and Vitalife, and how it's going to help your health as well. So remember to stay till the end to know more about those products. Also, I've got my link down below, lifestyle.synergyworldwide.com. Have a look at that as well. So anyway, please join me with Alison just now. See you that side. I'd like to thank Alison for coming along again. I know she came a few months ago and she was talking about yoga and the benefits of yoga. And today we're going to do some practices. Thank you for Alison coming along.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
It's lovely to be back.
How long have you been teaching yoga for?
Oh, over 13 years. I've been practicing for a lot longer, but I've been teaching for over 13 years now.
Wow, so how long have you been practicing for?
Do I have to admit it? Over
No.
40 years.
And sorry, today we're going to obviously show people out there that that they actually could do yoga at home. And I know that there may be a lot of people out there who tried yoga, and there's many of us out there maybe never tried it, and they want to they don't have maybe time to go to the classes, to the gym and
absolutely,
stuff,
yeah.
and they just want to do it at home, and just doing simple yoga practices would really help them.
Absolutely. A lot of people think that, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible. And it really doesn't have anything to do with your flexibility. So today what we're planning to do is to show you some classic yoga postures that you can practice easily at home. You don't need to have a yoga mat. You can put a towel onto the floor, or even just sit on your carpet or your rug.
Wow, that's amazing. So what are you going to do today? What are you showing
Well,
me
we're
today?
going to begin with a classic flow of postures called Surya Namaskara. Surya for sun, Namaskara for salutation. And if you did nothing else but this flow, preferably in the morning, but at any time during the day, then you would have a yoga practice. Start off with maybe 2 rounds of sun salutation, build it to 3, 4, 5. You don't need to do it for half an hour, just a few, and you would feel the benefit so much in a short space of time. So that's what we're going to start with.
Okay.
And we'll talk our way through the various postures that we might add on during this short film.
Okay.
And I hope that you enjoy it. So we're going to begin our practice with sun salutation, Surya Namaskara. So we're going to turn and face to our right hand side. And we begin, everything in yoga comes back to our breath. And we practice yoga and a yogic breath called Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through our nose. And it makes this lovely soft sighing sound. So have a quick look down when you're practicing. Just have a quick look down to your feet before you begin. Make sure your feet are nice and straight. And feel that you're standing nice and tall and the breath is lifting from your feet all the way up through your body. And on your next breath in, you lift your hands up overhead and you look up towards your thumbs. So a calm inhale. Look into your thumbs, and on your breath out, separate your hands, come forwards with your head and fold. And if your hamstrings happen to be a little bit tight, then give yourself permission, bend your knees, let your hands come onto your shins. Breathe in again and lift your head slightly to look up. And on your next exhale, bring your hands flat onto your floor or your mat and step back with your right foot. And then step back with your left foot. Come down onto your knees. And then keeping your upper body nice and long and flat, bend your elbows and let your chest come down towards the mat. And then breathing in, press into your hands and lift and open the chest. Look upwards, and on your next exhale, tuck your toes onto the mat. Lift your knees, lift your hips, and come into a posture called Adho Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees a little bit. Legs don't need to be straight, heels don't need to be on the mat. Our hands, we're trying to have shoulder width apart, we're trying to have our feet hip width apart, so if they're a little bit close together, then separate your feet a that tiny little bit. And then on your next breath in, lift your head to look forwards and step forwards with your right foot. And if it only comes halfway up the mat, don't worry about that either. Place your right hand behind your right calf muscle, give your foot a little push forwards, and then you can step forwards with your left foot. And on your breath out again, we fold. Inhale, and we come all the way back up to stand, lifting our hands above our head, looking up towards our fingers. And as we exhale, we bring our hands down into Namaste with our hands together, and we rest our hands at our heart. And we begin again. And we can count our breaths as we're doing this. Ekam, your first breath, on an inhale, separate your hands, lift them above your head and look towards your thumbs. And Dwi, your second breath, separate your hands, come forwards with your head, feel that you're folding that little bit from your hips and let your hands come down. Shins, ankles, hands to the mat where you're comfortable. And then Trini, your third breath, to lift your head and look up slightly. And Shatavari, your fourth breath, to step or walk back even. If you're more comfortable taking lots of little steps, then walk your feet back. So Aladdin, you could maybe walk your feet back this time just to show everyone what the options are. So a little bit, and then your other foot could come back. And it doesn't matter how fast, how slow. Again, your hands, your feet, and you're struggling to slide on the carpet a little bit. Bring them all the way back. There we are. We're trying to lift our sit bones to the ceiling and look up towards our navel. And this opens and lengthens our spine. It's as if it's the shell of our body. Again, knees are nice and soft. Supta, our seventh breath, we lift our head to look forwards, and we either walk our feet forwards in lots of little steps, or we step forwards with our right foot. So again, choose what one suits you, what feels good for you. And then we bring our second foot forwards. Don't be in a hurry to come up. Take a breath out and enjoy a nice forward fold. Breath 8. And then breath 9, Nava. Coming up to stand, circle your hands out wide and up overhead. And exhale, keeping your hands together, bring them down to rest at your heart. And we come to a position at the front of our mat called Samastitihi. Last one, inhaling. Separate your hands, take them wide out to the side, circle them up overhead and look towards your fingers. And exhale, separate your hands again, circle them wide and come into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, maybe you feel your hands are sliding down that little bit further. Inhale to lift your head and look up. And exhale to step or walk your feet towards the opposite end of your mat. It can be your left first, it can be your right, it doesn't matter. Drop down onto your knees, keeping your body nice and flat. Breathe in and lift through the ribs, lift into the chest, looking upwards. And on your breath out, maybe if you're tired, you want to come back to child's pose. So Aladdin, could you bring your hips back to your heels and just show everyone child's pose? This is a lovely alternative. It's almost like a little go-to posture to retreat back into. If you've taken Balasana, then bring yourself back up, tuck your toes onto the mat, lift your knees, lift your hips, come back into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. And then inhale, again, walk or step your feet forwards, whichever feels nice for you. Either your left foot or your right foot first, it doesn't matter. And then again, exhale your forward fold. So with this series of postures, we've opened the front of our body, we've lengthened and opened the back of our body. And then to finish, inhale, come all the way up to stand. Circle your hands and arms out wide, lift your hands overhead, look up to your thumbs. Keep your hands together and lower them to your heart and come to Samastiti He. Surya Namaskara. 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds, and you may feel that if you're feeling really dynamic when you take this one morning or afternoon, whenever you decide to practice, you could even start to jump both feet back at the same time. There's lots of modifications with every posture. So that's Surya Namaskara A. From here we'll turn to face the front, change direction, and come to a balance posture, a classic balance posture, tree or Vriksasana. And lots of times over the years I've heard students say, oh, I can't balance, Aladdin, you know, what's happened is they've been distracted. They've all these little thoughts that come into their mind. Oh, should I buy those shoes? Should I really go? I need to do the shopping, you know. We try to let those go. And sometimes another reason that we don't balance is we're too busy looking around about us. We have what I call dirty eyes. So when you're practicing, focus straight ahead with a nice soft gaze.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I was doing that practice. I know I'm not flexible. I could feel the tightness of, you know, on
In your
back,
hamstrings, but you kept your knees soft, which
Yes.
was really good. And if you have a wrist injury, you don't necessarily need to have your hands flat onto your mat. Make a fist with each hand, turn your knuckles onto the mat, and that also helps to relieve any issues if you have an injury to your wrists or a
Okay.
weakness even in your wrists.
Okay.
So there's lots of modifications, and always remember you can come back to child's pose.
Child pose,
Lovely
relax.
child's pose.
Feels
Retreat back
relaxed.
into child's pose. Give yourself permission to take that little bit of time out.
nice.
Okay. So our standing balance posture, Vriksasana.
Okay.
Try to feel that the sole of your left foot is
Okay.
pressing down onto the floor. And the breath's rising up, all the way up into your hips. You've got strength, a feeling of strength and stability on your left side.
Okay.
Your hands come together, Namaste, Anjali Mudra. And with this nice, soft, steady gaze straight ahead, lift your right heel off of the mat and turn your knee out to the side. So slide your toes back down onto the mat. So sometimes we feel we've got to do too much of a hurry. We slow everything down. We bring the heel off of the mat. Our toes are still on our mat, but we turn our knee out to the side, which starts to open up into the hip and into the inner thigh. And if you're having a day, you're a little bit unsteady, then again, always give yourself permission, accept where you are. This might be Vriksasana for you today,
Yeah.
on this right side.
As you said, some days, you know, you
Yeah,
could do it
if
and
you've
some
got a
feel
busy,
less.
yeah, exactly. If you've got a lot of things on your mind, this is why we try to practice yoga, to give ourselves that little bit of time to switch off.
So I could feel moving this out, I could feel kind of...
On a
it's like
physical
less busy.
level, we open the hip, we open the inner thigh, we open into the hip
Yeah, I
flexor.
could feel that.
Here, we try to let go. It helps with our focus, it helps with our concentration. If you feel that you're steady and you want to bring your foot up that little bit higher, slide the sole of your foot to the inside of your shin, just below your knee. You know, if you ever feel that, oh, I'm going to fall, let those toes slide back onto the mat. There's nothing to say that your foot has got to be any higher. If you want to bring it higher, nice steady gaze straight ahead. Let your left hand drop all the way down. Okay, bring your hand onto your knee. Now bring your hands together again. And this time let your right hand drop. Let your right leg lift slightly. And if you can reach for your ankle, take take your ankle and reposition your foot. And if you're saying, no,
so
that's
that's
not
feeling it.
happening, then that's absolutely fine. Toe comes back down onto the mat. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I guess-
And again, you can keep your hands at your heart, or you can lift them overhead. I'll say at this point there's a contraindication to this, and that is if you have blood pressure issues, high or low,
Yeah.
then keep your hands at your heart.
Okay.
Okay? So there at your heart if you have any issues with blood pressure. If not, you can lift your hands above your head, and if you feel you're becoming a little bit unsteady, again, separate your hands and arms, take them out that little bit wider. There's a lovely Sanskrit word called lila, cosmic play. Play with a posture. Don't feel it's got to look like this image in your head. A photograph, a picture you've seen on Instagram. Laugh, enjoy. Let's bring our foot back down. Let's try our other side. And
Yes.
we always take two sides,
Okay.
because it's nice to see that no side is exactly the same as the other. So we begin with all of this strength and stability on our right leg into the hip. We bring our foot to the inside of our ankle, and we steadily and slowly, when we feel we're ready, begin to let this foot come up that little bit higher. And again, if it's appropriate and you feel that you're ready, you can bring your hands above your head, you can keep them at your heart. And we breathe. Everything comes back to this lovely Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. And we don't need to hold the posture for any more than 5 breaths, 7
guess
at
so.
most.
I feel this side is much better.
It's a little bit more open maybe. It could be
Feel-
that that was more open. It may be that you felt stronger to balance on your left side. And it's always nice when we practice postures on a regular basis. We maybe see just a little shift, a little change, things even out that little bit. You could have our body left, right. We could top, bottom, hips. Very seldom are our hips both the same. One hip is never as open as the other. Our ankles can be a little bit weaker.
Okay.
Our physical body is a marvel. It's a marvel. So our sun salutations and our standing balances. So we'll come back to a few more, or 2 anyway, standing postures. Again, classic standing postures. So if I could ask you to turn to face to your side, please, again,
Yeah.
Madden, okay. And our hands are by our side. In this posture, you'll often hear called Tadasana, mountain pose, sometimes Samastitihi. It depends what lineage of yoga your teacher is coming from, but they're both the same posture. So I'm going to ask you on a breath in to step your right foot back,
Right foot.
right foot back, and
Okay.
your heel coming down onto the mat.
Okay.
Okay. Both legs are straight. We take a breath in and we circle our hands out, up, overhead, and we look towards our thumbs. And on our breath out, we drop into our hips and we bring our left knee forwards. We don't need to bring it too far forwards, in line with our heel and our ankle. It takes too much weight over the knee if we come too far forwards. And we want our back foot to still be a hip width apart, so that our hips, our ribs and our shoulders are all beautifully lined up, as if we're just reaching that little bit further towards the ceiling. Our head comes back slightly, we look towards our thumbs, and the upper body lovely, light, long, and our lower body strong, the strength and the determination of our warrior posture. Virabhadrasana 1. Again, 5 breaths. And from Virabhadrasana 1, we're going to come to Virabhadrasana 2. So I'm going to turn her back to the camera this time. As she begins her exhale, she's going to keep her feet and her legs in exactly the same position, but she's going to start to turn to her face the opposite way, bring her left ribs round, drop her arms to shoulder height, and then turn to look along her left arm towards her middle finger. Virabhadrasana 2. And when you're practicing this, if you decide to practice at home, try not to feel that you're leaning forwards. I'll bring Aladdin forwards a little bit just to let you see what I'm meaning by that. Leaning forwards. Head, heart, pelvis, lowering down. Again, the lightness in our upper body and the strength in the lower body. And after 5 breaths, we inhale and we begin to lift into the left hip, straightening our left leg. And as we exhale, we come forwards. We reach, keeping both legs straight if we can, and we let this left hand come down and we bring it to the inside. So we'll do both sides just to let everyone see the front of your body. Utthita Trikonasana, Utthita to extend, Trikonasana triangle. So looking down towards your left foot, soften and bend your left knee, inhale and come up. And on your breath out, step to the front, bring your feet together and your hands to your heart. This time we're going to inhale and step our left foot back so we can face forwards and face the camera.
Okay.
So inhaling, step your left foot back. It's always good to practice on both sides to balance everything up. So Virabhadrasana 1 again, inhale and look towards your thumbs. Drop your hips, bring this right knee forwards a little bit. We just feel this into our quad muscle. Again, lovely lengthening, lovely long straight arms. Beautiful. Virabhadrasana 1. And then as we begin our next exhale, we bring our right shoulder forwards. We lower our arms to shoulder height. And this time, outstretching our arms, we look towards our right hand. And it's our middle finger. And this is called drishti. Our gaze, our focus. So we don't become distracted by anything that's going on round about us. And again, sinking down rather than feel you've got to stretch forwards. And then inhale, press into your right foot. Let your right hip lift, straightening your right leg. And on your exhale, coming forwards this time with your right hand and letting your right hand come down to the inside of your right leg. So again, if you've seen a photograph or a picture of someone hooking onto their big toe, that's absolutely fine as well. But this is about opening the side of our body. We're trying to bring our underside ribs forwards. We're trying to bring our top ribs back slightly. Lengthen our neck and look towards this lifted left hand. And then inhaling, look towards your front foot, bend the knee, come all the way up to stand, bring your hands to your heart and step forwards with your left foot. How do you feel after that? Any questions?
Yeah. I could feel my muscles being stretched and my bones. I could feel, especially I've got tightness in my shoulders, on my shoulders
Possibly tension. You're a very busy
Tension.
lady.
Yeah, definitely tension, and I felt more on my left. I was really good, but it felt really good doing that stretch. Also, I felt like a stretch going down my obviously left arm, because I think I just needed that stretch going on. I feel better, but oh yeah. So,
Just even to circle your arm a few times before you lift it up. Again, cosmic play, Leela. Cosmic play.
Yeah. I haven't been to your class for a while, so I should go back.
Have I noticed that?
I've been going to a class for a way back, and it's been really good. So I've been so busy with work and stuff. So
I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah. So yeah, it felt really, really good.
Oh, lovely. So will we finish with another classic yoga posture, Setu Bandhasana Bridge, a back bend.
Okay.
Okay. Can I ask you to come and lie down?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is
This is
there's
gonna be
always a
weird.
lovely
Okay.
collective sigh
Oh, my,
when
this
we
one-
finish practice,
I think
and I
it-
invite everyone to come and lie on their mat. You do,
This is going to be, wow. Now, I don't know if I still can do this. Okay, so what do
Okay,
you do?
so if you come down to lie flat on your mat
I've got this.
with your legs straight and your arms by your side.
Yeah,
Okay, now bring your knees in towards your chest.
okay.
Reach and hold onto your ankles. So if you lift your feet and bring your knees in. So this is quite a nice way. If you, can I just adjust you and let
Yeah.
everyone see? So if you bring your knees in towards your chest and then you reach to take hold of your shins or your ankles and then let your feet come down. So again, we're trying to have our feet about hip width apart. So I'm just going to separate Aladdin's feet just that tiny little bit.
Okay.
So we have feet, knees, hips and shoulders. So everything's nicely lined up. And we're looking upwards towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're rolling up through our spine, beginning with our tailbone, lumbar spine and then
Okay.
our back ribs. Press your feet down onto the mat, really press them down onto the mat, and then a little pelvic tilt. And then begin to lift up through lumbar spine into thoracic, your back ribs. And then as you begin to rise up towards your shoulder blades, tuck your chin to your chest so you're keeping your neck nice and long. And you can stay here in Setu Bandhasana. If you have any issues at all with your back, lower or thoracic in the middle, then take this posture to a nice flow and come down on your breath out. You can lift your heels off of the mat, and on the breath out, begin to roll down from shoulders through back ribs, tailbone, and then all the way down. And then on your breath in, you begin to rise up again. So we don't have to come into the posture and stay there for 5 or 7 breaths. You can bring it to this lovely flow. If you're going to hold the posture, then there are a variety of positions that we can come into now with our
Okay.
hands. So on an inhale, if you rise up into Setu Bandhasana, and then next breath in, lift your hands towards the ceiling and take them all the way back up overhead. And that very subtly shifts your awareness from your spine to opening the front of your body, from your knees to your throat, your quad muscles, here, okay? And then you bring your hands all the way back over. Lift your heels and come all the way back down. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
If you want to come up fractionally deeper again, then you can bring your hands onto your side waist.
Okay.
So Aladdin's been to practice before. She knows that I was going to ask her to have her fingers coming in towards the
Yeah.
centre of her back, which helps to strengthen your wrists and
Yeah.
give a little bit of mobility. You just feel the difference.
Yeah.
If you turned your hands the other way, it might feel strange to you now, but you're not giving yourself the same amount of support with one thumb
That's
as you
right.
do with 4 fingers in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when you're ready to come down, then slide your hands out from your side waist, lower yourself down, bring your knees into your chest. You can either roll backwards and forwards or from side to side.
Okay.
And then from here, slide your feet to the front of your mat. And we come to the very last posture that you will do in every practice, wherever you practice it, with whomever, whichever style of yoga that you decide to do, you come to Shavasana, our rest. And we take our feet and we separate our feet to slightly wider than hip width. We let our toes fall out to the side. Our arms slide a little bit further out to the side of our body, and we turn the palms of our hands towards the ceiling. We allow our eyes to softly close. And this can be often the most difficult posture to practice, because our body has this lovely sigh of relief. Oh, I've done my practice, I feel so good. And then we start to think about everything that we're going to do in the next few minutes. When you practice this at home or with another teacher in a studio or a lovely hall somewhere, try to still be on your mat. Be here, not there. Just feel the rise and fall of your ribs. 5 minutes at least, 10 if you could possibly give yourself that amount of time. Practice and all is coming. Enjoy your practice. Play. Play with your practice. Leela, cosmic play. And trust your instincts. Svarasa. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy the yoga practices. I've definitely enjoyed it. I feel flexible and energized. And the great thing about yoga is you can do it at home 10-15 minutes a day and you'll see a huge difference. Do it in the morning before you start work and get your body going and more flexible, and you'll see a huge difference, especially if you got pain and your joints are quite stiff. You will see a huge difference in just doing yoga. It takes time, so obviously practice makes perfect. So the more practice you do it every single day, you'll see a huge difference. Everybody is in a different level, so it doesn't matter. You know, if you can't do certain things in the beginning, the more practice you do, you will realize that you are actually improving. So I hope you enjoyed the yoga practice. Before I go, I just want to say quickly about the two products that would really help your health and well-being. And one is Mystify. That is full of berries and achu berries, goju berries and cranberry, or so many wonderful berries, things out there that will really help you with antioxidants, your immune system. Ladies out there, if you want to stay young and drink a lot of Mystify, that will really help your skin and your health and well-being. Secondly, I've got Vitalife. Really helps with the digestive system, it alkalizes your system. If you've got inflammation, you've got joint pains, amazing for that. Also for IBS, and it's got peppermint for digestive system as well. Amazing product. So if you want to find out more about the products, if you want to purchase the products, look at the link below called lifestyle.synergyworldwide.com. That's lifestyle.synergyworldwide.com. If you want to find out more about the products, if you need more information, just message me on my Facebook page or put a comment below and I'll get back touch with you as well. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and remember to watch the show next week. I got amazing guests coming on and I will be talking about other topics that will actually benefit you. The most important thing is about feeling good about yourself. This is a reason for doing this show. So I want to say to everybody out there I like to say that thank you for watching and every single week and supporting me and encouraging me to do so many other videos. So hopefully, hope to see you next week. Thank you for joining. Bye.